How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to FGC Meetups. We're on FGC Meetups number 68. I hope you guys all had a lovely new year and great holidays. I'm here with Dave to talk to you guys about something pretty important that we've got coming up in a few months here in 2024. If you guys are fans of us here at Low Kick, or if you just heard the word around the street, we had an event to kind of round out the year called Roundhouse, and a lot of awesome things that we had never done before, but got a lot of really good reception happened at Roundhouse 2023, including the MIDBEST exhibition, the team tournament that we had, and it was so good that we kind of noticed team tournaments kind of pop off. So to talk to you guys a little bit about what we have in store regarding team tournaments, I have Dave, CEO of Low Kick Esports, here to talk about Roundhouse TAG coming April 12th through 14th, which is a team tournament-based event, which doesn't really happen here in the FGC, right, Dave? I want to ask you a little bit about like what your ideas were. Obviously, Roundhouse is your baby, Roundhouse is your draft, and Roundhouse TAG was something that you noticed was very important to have in the FGC. So tell me a little bit about why Roundhouse TAG is going to be important for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely, Seth, and thank you for the intro.
Yeah,
thank you for everything you do as the head honcho here of FGC Meetups.
Here we go. Okay.
Here at Ignite Gaming. Right, so Roundhouse takes place at Ignite Gaming. Roundhouse TAG is also taking place here at Ignite Gaming, April 12th through the 14th. And to answer your question specifically, yeah, there's just a lack of team tournaments, whether it was related to the pandemic or what have you. And with Project L coming out, there's so much momentum around team games. We're seeing Strive add a 3v3 mode into the game as well. So I think it's time to get the FGC ready, specifically our community here in the Midwest, for what I hope is a revival of team tournaments.
Yeah.
You look at things like Co-op Cup, which is one of the most unique FGC tournaments that we have every single year.
Mm-hmm.
I aspire to do something like that for our community. And so we're going to kick it off with some of the games that we're going to be featuring here at Roundhouse TAG. Tekken 8, of course, is going to be included.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a 3v3. It is also, for the first time, we are announcing here right now, Tekken 8 is going to be included in the MIDBEST Spring 2024 season, alongside the next game that we'll cover here in a second. Street Fighter 6 also returning as a 3v3 game.
So we're actually going to have both of the games in the MIDBEST exhibition, right? So
Yes.
like last year it was just a Street Fighter 6 centered event, but now we're going to have this format for
Yeah,
both.
now we're going to do both. I mean, I think it makes sense. These are two huge tentpole franchises for the FGC and have been for decades, right? So included as well is going to be Guilty Gear Strive, right? We mentioned that that's going to be 3v3. One thing I want to touch on is that we're going to run different types of team tournament formats.
Okay.
Right? So Strive, we're going to be running in Waseda format. Which I'm really excited to kind of explain to folks as we get closer to the show and kind of introduce people for that if they've never been in a team tournament before. And the last two games that we've looked at, Street Fighter and Tekken, we're actually going to be running Double Life Pokemon style. So a little bit of mix from what you see more in American tournaments and in Japanese tournaments, just to acclimate folks to the different styles and hopefully just build some cool games, some cool matches, and cool storylines along the way.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys watched Roundhouse last year, you've seen the Waseda style be put in action with the MIDBEST stuff, and then hopefully you guys are Pokemon fans to see how that's going to work. What about this one, Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah, MK, this one's going to be 2v2, right? So it's going to be a mix of 3v3 and 2v2 games on site. I think that's going to be really cool to see as we go through Roundhouse games and introduce them to you. We're also going to be having some singles. I want to mention that too while we have some time to talk about it. The singles brackets are not announced yet.
Yeah.
Because the idea was to do them a little bit more impromptu, have some weirder events taking place.
Right.
So, don't fret if you're like, oh, I don't have a buddy yet to play my games with. I don't have two friends yet to play my games with. You got till April to figure it out, and also we're going to have some 1v1s on site. And Uni 2 is obviously going to be included in a 2v2 Waseda format.
Yeah, okay, Waseda format. So we're seeing like Waseda was happening with Strive, Waseda is happening with this. Is there like how did you deliberate on what format to assign to what games?
Yeah, that was actually a huge question in sort of designing the tournament. And ultimately what we decided is, Waseda formats are a little bit more popular in Japan. So we're going to run the anime games in Waseda format.
There you go.
And then Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken are going to be running in Double Life Pokemon style, which is just a little bit more common here in the States.
Yeah. I agree. All right, sick. Oh,
And then Granblue.
Of course.
I mean, Granblue's blown up.
It's really blowing up.
Especially here in the Midwest.
Yeah, thankfully so, because, I mean, like, it had a huge drop-off kind of when it released, like, right before COVID. And that was just unfortunate. Obviously, like, netcode demands really grew around that time that I'm sure that developers just did not anticipate. So it was just, like, a really set of unfortunate circumstances, despite it being a great game. And Rising, you know, coming out, breathed so much life into it. And now it's, like, one of the more popular games that's happening, not just in the Midwest, but it's insanely polished. You know, it's insanely popular now. But you elected 2v2 format for Rising. Can you tell me, like, what was the decision to have it be the 2v2?
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of pragmatic because when we were planning the event, the game wasn't out yet.
Okay,
so we were like, all right, let's do it as a 2v2. We don't have a good idea of run times yet, what the shelf life of the game is going to be in terms of 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, etc. These are all the questions that a tournament organizer goes through, is like, how much time do I have to have a positive tournament experience on site? So that's obviously one of the things we're thinking about.
There's, I mean, like, when you don't have information like that, things can be really, really volatile.
Right.
Like, you could have, you know, you planned for a 2v2 and the game could have died on impact, you know, or, you know, who could have anticipated it blew up the way that it did. So I'm really happy to be seeing it, you know, as part of the tournament, and it's going to be a really important part of it. So,
for sure,
you know, hopefully you guys, you Granblue fans, are going to be signing up for that. Humongous.
And then, of course, we have a mystery tournament, right?
Yeah.
2v2, random team draft. Super excited for Mr. Goo to come back and run his brand of mystery events. He's been at all of our Roundhouse events up to this point, and he does an excellent job. If you've never been a part of his events, I'm really excited to do some mystery team games. I think it adds to the overall, what should I say, character of a mystery event.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see this develop.
I think that, like, there's always that slight amount of, not necessarily unhingedness, but that chaotic moment that really gets honed in on mystery. You know, like, mystery is kind of like the source of a lot of the fun.
Right.
And, like, kind of that chaotic energy that comes. So for Goo to be coming back, not pictured, by the way, is not Mr.
Yeah,
Goo.
different dude.
But you decided, was it you who decided this random team draft?
Well, we talked about it a lot, and I think what we're going to end up doing on site is give options for random and set teams, right? Because also I feel like one of the challenges for a player is figuring out, okay, who am I going to roll with, especially, like, if you got to pick one of your friends, right? And I think mystery just sort of plays into this idea of, like, no, I'm serious, I'm here to win mystery, or I'm here to just, like, have fun and get weird with mystery, right? So I think giving options to people is really important.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a random set of games that you play. Might as well have random teammate as well, or random teams. It's great. Okay.
Sure. And Exerd, right? Rev 2. I mean, I don't know if you saw the registration numbers for Combo Breaker thus far.
I saw it,
but it's up there.
I don't know how, and I love that it is.
I love it too.
It's awesome.
The players who play this game love this game. It's obviously an amazing game.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the community that it has here in the Midwest, it's just like, hey, we got to put Rev 2 on the line.
Yeah, we got to. You really can't have, like, a large-scale Midwest tournament without Rev 2.
And 2v2, Rev 2, it just sounds good.
It does sound good.
Let's make it happen.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So we've also got some merch, right?
I love the merch. So
I knew you
me.
love it.
You know me. I love merch. I love being able to rep, you know, obviously local. I love being able to rep, you know, whatever event that you go to. But why I really want to put a shining light on this is because this is gear that you can wear just to anything.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's
looks
what we
great.
were going for, right? So props to Jackson, O-Scouts, who designed the merch for Roundhouse Tag. Going with, I think, some really cool themes. One thing you're going to notice, no black merch.
Yeah.
There's no black shirts or hoodies or anything like that.
Unheard of.
I know, right? We're definitely going against the grain.
Yeah.
It might not be a popular decision in some circles, but, you know, I figure we're going to run Roundhouse in the fall as well. If we need to put black back in the mix, we can do it then.
Yeah,
right?
we'll just do it then.
So, yeah, we got those shirts. This is our signature piece right here, the sleeveless hoodie.
That's so cool.
You know, I haven't seen one of those yet, or it's been a minute since I've seen one. So we're going to run that back. And then we've got shorts, right? These shorts are actually going to feel really good, go up to 2X. Got the MIDBEST piping going down the side in addition to the Roundhouse Tag logo.
Cool. It's very sporty. I mean, like, it kind of really runs with the Roundhouse theme. Like, Roundhouse in itself is a very, like, we got the octagon in there.
Right.
You know, it's just crazy. Well, a ring, right?
But
we're keeping that vibe very much going for Roundhouse Tag. And what gear best to represent it in, you know, it's very varsity. It's looking very sportsy. You know, wear these to the gym. They look great.
Yeah, you can mix and match on the tops and the bottoms, too, which I think is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, the colors work really well. Nice.
And then, we got some dad hats going on, too. 2 different colors. Just to shout out the logo here, we wanted to envision something a little bit different for Roundhouse Tag. Take a lot of the elements of Roundhouse, obviously the RH and then the stars representing the Chicago flag. Now we've got them kind of on the side like you're about to tag in with your teammate into the arena.
Yeah.
And a lot of 90s skate brand inspiration going into this specific logo. O-Scouts Jackson did an amazing job.
He did really do wonder on this logo, and I see exactly what you mean, where you got like the 2 stars, different colors too on opposing sides. It's a really nice color scheme to play with too, the orange and lavender, and it just shines really well on everything that it's being shown on. So good stuff to obviously logo designer, for you for picking out the color scheme. So everything's just going to look great.
Yeah, I think our community is really going to look good, and we're going to do something different for this event, right? And I think it matches just the overall vision of the event. Let's do something different. Let's do something bold. Let's learn something as organizers, right? Challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like the players challenge themselves every day to learn something new and do something different. So we got to bring it because they're bringing it.
Yeah, and also like the community response too, as we were saying at the beginning of the showcase, or we're just talking about how there is this like demand that we're starting to notice for team tournaments and drought that we kind of see. Like we do have the Co-op Cup out in Japan, also FAV.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like centered out there, and we kind of want to like showcase here stateside, like people do want this, and this is important. So
yeah, you're starting to see like TNS9 has a couple team tournaments.
Yeah.
It's going to be taking place. I'm really excited for that. I think Combo Breaker is a mystery 2v2 this year. So like I'm really hoping you're seeing so many offline events come back, which is amazing.
Yes, that is.
But yeah, I think also just getting all of this momentum back for team tournaments is really cool to see across the country.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so this is a little bit about the Waseda style. You actually made this graphic.
Okay, that's true. I did do this graphic. So we wanted to be as clear as possible in explaining the Waseda format to you guys. We know that, Pokemon style can be very, not necessarily self-explanatory, but, a lot of people are familiar with that style. Waseda has a very unique way of doing it. So the way that it works, I'll just read it kind of verbatim. Play order is determined for each team. So when a team captain or whatever the team kind of just decides amongst themselves who is going to be in each slot, performing in order. So the first 2 opposing members play, and then that loser is eliminated for that set. And then this is going to repeat until all the members of a team are eliminated. So I put the example there. If the person who is in the 3rd slot on a team is the last player standing, they have to beat the other members of the team in order. So hopefully, this kind of shows off exactly like what that means for people, because I know like once the initial round is done, like everybody kind of fights each other in order. It can be kind of chaotic, but
yeah, I think the huge benefit of this format is everybody on your team gets to play.
Yes.
So you don't have like a super dominant player in that top slot just running through the rest of the team. If they win, they go to the back of the line, right? So they're still alive, of course, but it gives everybody else on the team a chance to play, show what they've got as well. Everyone's going to be training hard for this event. We want to make sure everybody gets a chance to play.
Yeah, and like it was really important making that decision for the MIDBEST exhibition. We really wanted to showcase all of the players that were a part of that in the teams of 3. We know that Pokemon style, exactly as you pointed out, you can have a player that kind of just like wipes the floor with the other team. It's really important that we have, every player get their chance to shine and, be a factor in the success for their team. So I really love the Waseda style, and I love that it's being elected for Tekken 8 as well.
Right.
Because we're probably going to have a lot of new talent coming out for Tekken 8.
For sure.
We've got a ton of new talent that we saw even for Roundhouse for Street Fighter 6. So this is probably going to be a wonderful way to do the MIDBEST exhibition.
Yeah, on MIDBEST, we're going to have more information on MIDBEST at Frosties and after Frosties, so stay tuned for more info about potentially your local scene coming back or a new scene adjacent to the Midwest participating, so we're going to have a little bit more information there for you. But I'm so excited to bring back MIDBEST. We got such great compliments on it. I'm excited to do something different, do something new with Roundhouse Tag. And most important thing for you guys to know is registration is going to be opening on Tuesday. All right? So January 15th, we're going to open it up. We're just getting the word out here today because we're here doing FGC meetups.
Yep.
We'll let you guys know on social about everything there. You can review the page. It's actually up right now.
Yep.
start.gg/RHTag. You can go there right now. You can check out some of the stuff we just talked about today.
Yeah, set your calendar, set your alarms. Tuesday, January 15th, registration goes live. Early bird registration is going to go for how long, do you think, Dave?
So each of the registration tiers changes at the start of the month.
Okay.
So early registration's going throughout all of January.
Yep.
Then changes to the next tier in February. Then changes to the next tier in March.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously, early bird registration, the best time to do it. Save as much money as possible. Get first in line for Roundhouse Tag. We're probably going to have, if Roundhouse was any indication on numbers-wise, it's going to be big.
Yeah.
It's going to be big.
I think so. Yeah, I think Roundhouse gets bigger every time we run it. And one of the reasons why we're doing this twice a year now is because we want, if we're going to do it twice a year, let's do something different.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what this is all about.
Yeah, and that's a great decision too, is like to make those two events distinct, so that way it's not people will be like, oh, I'll just go to Roundhouse in October. No, you got a reason to come to this one specifically, and it's a big reason in and of itself. And I can't imagine, like, as the team tournament format starts to get more popular and a lot of people start to like jump in, like if Roundhouse Tag in 2025 starts to really blow up, especially with new games coming out like Project L, who knows if that's this year. But if that is this year, 2025 Roundhouse Tag, you're not going to want to miss that. You're not going to want to miss this one. Just train up with the team.
Yeah, amazing opportunity for the players to learn more about team tournaments, for TOs to learn more about it, for the broadcast teams. This is all a big ecosystem, a big community. Let's create that demand. I know it's there. And let's get out there and have some fun.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for watching. That was the Roundhouse Tag Showcase. We're going to clip this. We're going to ship it up onto YouTube. And we're going to transition right into our stream for the night, which is Guilty Gear Strive, in preparation for Frosty Faustings in 2 weeks. So, Dave, thank you as always.
Thanks, brother.
Coming in on the stream. I mean, you're always here. You're always repping it. I mean, we wouldn't be here without you anyway. But Roundhouse Tag, set your alarms. January 15th. Hope you guys enjoyed the showcase. See you there.